I am so fortunate to be joined today by WWE Superstar Candice LeRae. Candice, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Not too bad at all. It is a pleasure to meet
Good.
you.
You
Coming
too.
off of a fantastic performance in the Royal Rumble. It was wonderful seeing you in that event.
Well,
Um,
thank you.
so many things I want to talk to you about, but let me ask you this: how did you get your start with WWE?
Well, I was doing independence for a while. Like, I don't want to talk about how many years, but it was a good while. And my husband, Johnny Gargano, had signed, I want to say he signed officially about 2 years before I did. And we moved to Florida, and happened to be here. And one day they were having a women's battle royal on NXT. And Mr. Regal went up to Johnny and said, "Hey, is Candice in town? And is she available today?" And I think that from there, it just kind of just everything happened. And it feels like it happened so fast.
I love that. I love that. And one of the things that I love about WWE is like the camaraderie, and you definitely see that there's this wonderful strong family environment. And your family is coming to town, as it would seem, because we've got a slew of events. We've got SmackDown taking place at the Bell Center in Montreal, and
Yeah.
then the next night we have the Elimination Chamber in Montreal. And then we have Sunday to catch our breath, and then Monday Night Raw in Ottawa. So really excited about all three of those events. Now, there are a lot of people who are going to be watching this who are lifelong WWE fans who don't need any introduction to anything that
Of
I just talked
course.
about and are really excited. But for people who aren't familiar with the Elimination Chamber, would you just mind explaining to the good people what they could have, what they have in store for them with that?
Oh man, how do I put into words Elimination Chamber? It's like this really cool, enclosed, crazy. It's that maybe it sounds like a kid would come up with, but on a grand scale. And it's super epic and it's exciting. You don't know who's going to come out of their chamber next. You don't know when somebody's going to get eliminated. It's like watching action movie within this closure.
Mhm.
It's so cool.
It really is. So this is a once a year event. I mean, we see cage matches multiple times a year and what have you, but the Elimination Chamber is something very specific. Four
Yes.
you've got four pods, I believe, on each corner,
Yep.
and somebody's in the
Yep.
pod. You start off
Yep.
with multiple people in the ring, sometimes two, sometimes three, and then every 5 minutes or so, one
Yeah.
pod opens. To your
One
point,
person.
you don't know
You
which
don't
one,
know.
and they come out. It's ridiculous, and I'm so excited. I believe this is the first time the Elimination Chamber is in Montreal as well. I won't get you to fact check that, but I'm pretty confident
I
in
feel
saying that.
I'm with you, or like my fan knowledge
Yeah,
says yes, you're correct.
yeah. Now, piggybacking off of that, for somebody who's never been to a live WWE event, not only, in my opinion, have they been completely missing out, but how would you
Oh
describe
yeah.
the atmosphere to somebody seeing it live versus seeing it on television?
I feel like so many sporting events in general are so much better live. But then there's just something that when you're going to WWE live, you feel a part of the show. And I think that that's something that's very special because really the fans are very much so a part of a show in more ways than one. And I mean, most of the wrestlers were fueled off of fan reaction. And I think that one of the most special things about WWE Live is it's such a family
Yeah.
event. And I think a lot of people, I feel like people don't always realize how much of a family event it is. And you can take friends, you can take kids, you could take grandparents, anybody to these events, and everybody's going to have such a good time. And I think that that's so special.
No, I absolutely agree. And to your point, I've been to multiple events, and one of the things I love seeing,
Yeah.
especially over the last few months, is last few months seeing it live, but obviously this has been the case for years. Is you've got the demographics are all over the place. You've got
Oh,
you've got you've
yeah.
got young kids, you've got seniors, men, women,
Yeah.
everybody turns out and just seems to really enjoy this because it is such an entertaining product.
Yeah.
Now, for yourself, is there anything that the good people of Ottawa, Montreal should be keeping an eye out for as it pertains to yourself as we're coming
Oh,
towards these events?
man.
Any little teases you want to drop on us?
Man, I don't know that I have anything too exciting other than I am really excited to be there.
Yeah.
Like, very, very excited to be there. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I can for sure be there. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it
I'd like
does.
to very much so for sure be there.
Very much so. I'm very much so for sure looking forward to seeing you there. I have to tell you
Good.
though, you dropped one of my favorite quotes, and I'll tell you what it is. You said when you were a little kid, you didn't grow up wanting to be Miss Elizabeth. You wanted to be Macho Man Randy Savage, and I
Yeah.
thought that was amazing. And one of the things, and I'll get you to speak to that, but one of the things I love about that is that it just kind of shows that even from a child, your passion for this business. So, but I don't want to answer that for you. Tell me about being a child and just being inspired by some of the larger than life characters that you would see on television, like Randy
Well,
Savage.
yeah. So like first off, I adored Miss Elizabeth as a child, but like there was just something about the physicality in ring that just left me in awe when I watched wrestling. I mean, it's why I fell in love with wrestling, was the wrestling part of it. And I saw these, Randy Savage and like just I wanted that so badly. I just fell in love with him and just the presence he had in the ring. And I'm like, that's just everything I want to be one day.
Yeah.
Just that presence. I want to be almost as good as he is, halfway as good as he is. I'd be totally pumped about. So,
Yeah.
like,
Fair.
it's special. Like, the feeling it made me feel watching him was like, oh, I loved it.
Yeah. Well, I love that you and I have both, followed our dreams. You're actually doing it, and I'm talking to people who do it. So, hey, there we go.
Yes, I think that really, in the grand scheme of things, we all dreamt to just still have this in our lives,
Yeah.
this deep into our lives, and I
Yeah.
think it's special that we've been able to be fans this long.
Absolutely. It's such an incredible business, and just being a fan of it is
Yeah,
just being a fan of it, let alone participating in it is just priceless.
yeah,
I want to
absolutely.
I want to be respectful of your time, but it wouldn't be a Keith Whittier interview if I didn't take you through some fun rapid fire questions.
Oh
So
gosh, okay.
don't
I'm gonna
worry, you're
start
gonna be
sweating.
fine. No, no, no need, no need. The first question of rapid fire is always, and you can give me a top three if you can't narrow it down to one. What
Okay.
is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh no. Oh gosh. Um. Oh, this is really, really, really difficult. Oh no, no, no. I wasn't prepared for that. I'm gonna say a movie that I can watch over and over and over
Sure.
again is Disney's Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
I
I
could
like
watch
it.
it over and over and over again.
I like it. I like it.
A cartoon, yes.
That's all good. There's no right or wrong in rapid fire.
No, there's not. There's
Unless you
not.
unless unless you said the Notebook, but we'll move on. Okay.
Oh no,
Question
I would never. I
question
would
number
never.
question number two. You have said before that you don't like watching your own matches, but can you watch your husband's matches?
Oh, absolutely. I can very calmly watch my husband's matches.
Yeah. Okay.
I love watching his matches.
Love that.
Much
Love that.
easier to watch that than my own.
Yeah. And I guess for yourself, you're just too critical of your own work, I suppose.
Absolutely. Like especially if I feel really good about a match, if I step away from the match and I'm like, oh man, that was like it felt good out there, I won't watch it because I will nitpick everything to like the way that my hand was when I was laying someone. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah.
I think we'll all do that. I'll play this back and think of like five things I wish I hadn't have done. So it's I think that I
Oh
think that's I think that's I think that's
no.
natural. I think that's natural. Who would be your dream opponent? Like anybody that you would love to square off against in the ring?
Answer Shawn Michaels.
Okay. All right. I love that. I love that.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Last question for you. It was documented that your first date with your husband was at Subway. What is your
Yeah.
what is your go-to sub at Subway?
I just get it'd be so boring. It's just turkey. Depending on my mood, the bread will change.
Okay.
And I don't even get cheese. It's just like lettuce, onion. Man, it's so boring. Sometimes I do mayonnaise, but not a lot. And then it's really boring. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna
That's pretty much my very boring sub that I get.
I get a 6 inch I get a 6 inch roast beef on white with lettuce, tomato, and one line of mustard. It doesn't get more boring than that. All right.
Yeah.
Because I
Okay,
don't
we're on
I
the same
don't
page. We're
yeah,
together.
we're
Teamwork.
yeah. I don't want you to end feeling this was on a boring note. So let me take it back to a high. What is your favorite match of all time that the good people can check out on WWE Network?
Me versus Io in Toronto.
Excellent.
The
Excellent.
takeover.
Nothing boring about that. Candice
I
LeRae,
hope not.
oh no, not at all. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me today.
Thank
We are
you.
so excited to welcome you, to roll out the red carpet for you and the wonderful people of WWE for these 3 exciting events. Again, we've got SmackDown in Montreal on the Friday at the Bell Center, Elimination Chamber on the Saturday at the Bell Center. Like I said, catch your breath. There's more. Monday night back here in Ottawa for Monday Night Raw. So thank you so much for the time. Wish you all the continued
Thank
success
you.
with your career. And,
Thank you.
and thanks again so much for the time today. You take care.
Thanks, you too.